Police discovered Keiontay Davis suffering from fatal gunshot wounds at a residence on Lakewood Avenue late Friday night, approximately 6 hours after young Scooter's death. The Lakewood Heights neighborhood has struggled with ongoing violence, with 8 murders occurring there in the past 4 years, 4 of them within 400 feet of the house where Davis was found. The city's Policing Alternatives and Diversion Office moved into the area last year, located just 2 buildings away from where Davis was discovered. However, Davis was not a resident of Lakewood Heights. He had been a co-defendant in a 2022 murder trial, accused in the shooting death of Jaquavius Wilson. That murder was seemingly linked to a long-standing conflict between members of 2 groups, 4PF, 4 Pockets Full, and OMF, Only My Family, the latter being a street-affiliated extension of the Goodfellas prison gang. Nathan 4PF Nate Benford received a 20-year prison sentence through a plea deal in this case, while Wilson took a plea on lesser charges and was sentenced to 15 years of probation before his own murder. It was suggested that Benford had been ready to testify in court, which influenced the plea bargain convictions. It remains unclear whether OMF killed Benford as retaliation or if 4PF silenced him as a potential informant. Regardless, this incident is yet another escalation in a violent cycle that, according to defense attorneys, originated from the mishandled murder trial of rapper Rollo's brother years ago, setting off a chain of revenge killings. Atlanta rap star Lil Baby was known for representing 4PF in his music, and until 2023, his label carried the same name. He later shut it down, explaining that he did not want to be held accountable for the crimes linked to 4PF gang members. Despite this, Major Ralph Woolfolk, head of the city's anti-gang unit, publicly criticized Lil Baby last month for filming a music video in OMF territory the previous year. Shortly after that, rival gang members ventured into 4PF's Oakland City area to shoot their own video, which escalated into a deadly confrontation, leaving 2 13-year-old boys dead and an 11-year-old injured. This cycle of retaliatory violence was part of the reason Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis pursued racketeering charges against Young Thug and YSL in 2022. More recently, the U.S. Department of Justice indicted members of the Goodfellas gang on racketeering charges. Federal prosecutors, in a motion to seal parts of the case, cited concerns that gang members might attempt to eliminate witnesses. One of the most frequent questions about the YSL case is its cost. Given the complexity of racketeering prosecutions, clearly demonstrated in Young Thug's ongoing trial, some have questioned whether there are more efficient ways to handle such cases. Willis had requested a significant increase in county funding for the district attorney's office, citing the need to sustain the higher staffing levels made possible by temporary federal COVID-era funding, which had helped clear backlog cases. With that funding now ended, she wanted the county to maintain its budget at that level. When the county declined, she threatened legal action. If the proposed budget is enacted, Fulton County will certainly see a dramatic increase in its jail population and is likely to lose much of the progress that has been made in reducing violent crime, Willis wrote to the commission. Hear me clearly, if you enact the proposed budget, people will die. Her warning referred to a resurgence of case backlogs, which could drive up the jail population. The conditions in Fulton County Jail have been described as a human rights crisis. The additional federal funding had also allowed Willis to dedicate an entire courtroom and one of Fulton County's 20 Superior Court judges exclusively to a single case. While the DA's office recently released its budget for the past 4 years, more detailed financial data remains undisclosed. Officials have refused to provide an exact cost of the YSL trial, citing ongoing legal proceedings. Willis's office has already faced scrutiny over transparency issues, having been fined $54,000 this month for resisting open records requests from a right-wing watchdog group. It is unclear whether she is complying with subpoenas from the Georgia State Senate's investigative subcommittee, as legislative officials say those records remain confidential. The subcommittee's subpoena focuses only on financial transactions involving Nathan Wade and federal grants, excluding a full breakdown of her office's budget and spending. Meanwhile, Sean Hoover, who leads the Georgia Public Defender's Council's specialized unit on gang cases, has stated that his office is actively preparing for a racketeering indictment related to the 4PF and OMF conflicts. He anticipates that Lil Baby will be among those indicted